We're talking college sports in the Deep South where college football is king. The SEC arguably one of the better conferences in college football. The SEC West, very competitive subconference in college football because of the fierce rivalries and their battles at the line of scrimmage. Once again, it's K2 to go for Vernon Speak Sports. We mostly talking Auburn football like nobody's business. Go ahead and comment, like, and subscribe to the channel. War Eagle. Now, Kyler Murray is the number one pick of the NFL draft. He's a former Texas A&M transfer who went over to Oklahoma, made a name for himself, and also the Heisman Trophy winner, is the number one pick in the draft. Now, on to Auburn football. You know, as we look at this going into the 2019 season, a lot of people will want to know the inside scoop for the Auburn Tigers. Now, the first time you will see Gus Malzahn publicly speaking on the Auburn Tigers as it relates to the SEC media will be in the middle of the summer. Man, it's hot in the Deep South in the summertime. War Eagle. Gus Malzahn will address the SEC media days on July the 18th. Now, what we want to know, is where is Gus Malzahn going with this 2019 season? This year, the media days will be at the Hyatt Regency in Birmingham, Alabama. Gus Malzahn will address the media, as will that same day Mark Stoops from Kentucky and Derek Mason from Vanderbilt will address the media as well. Now, if you want to catch some other guys, July 15th, you have Dan Mullen, Ed Orgeron, and Barry Odom. Of course, Tuesday, July 16th has its lineup as well. Wednesday, July the 17th features Nick Saban. So when I think about this going into July 18th, man, the anticipation will be very high going into the 2019 season. So many questions to be answered surrounding the Auburn Tigers football program. Number one, who's going to be the starting quarterback? Of course, he's going to dance around that question. The media would like to believe that it will be Joey Gatewood, but of course the quarterback battle at Auburn is wide open. Auburn opens the season in the Advocare Classic against Pac-12 hopeful champion Oregon in that particular ball game. So there's going to be a lot of conversation surrounding that game. You talk about a first-year quarterback that will be starting in a very high-consequence game in the Advocare Classic. You have a different set of linebackers coming into the Advocare Classic as well. So we're going to be at the edge of our seats July the 18th as Gus Malzahn addresses the media at SEC Media Days. One thing I can say about the Gus Malzahn coaching staff of this year, there seems to be a lot more enthusiasm surrounding the Auburn program due to the addition of Kenny Dillingham, and of course, vocal leader from the Auburn Tigers back in the day, Carnell Williams, will be on the coaching staff as well. So this is going to be a very interesting development for the Auburn Tigers. War Eagle. So I just want you guys to mark your calendar, July the 18th. That's going to be a Thursday. If you want to DVR this thing, of course, YouTube will probably provide some type of footage from the SEC media days, but just want to give you guys the heads up as to when this will happen. This is a lot closer than we would like to think. Gus Malzahn will probably be addressing questions such as where is the offensive line versus last year. A lot of us would like to predicate the detractors offensive-wise to the offensive line from last year. Of course, Auburn has all the starters coming back, but of course the media will want to know moving forward how Auburn will address the issues at the offensive line. The defense appears to be in good shape with some of the guys that will be coming. I really am big on Charles Moore out of Mississippi, who will be a contributor. He was not able to be an early enrollee for the spring practice, but I think he's definitely going to be a contributor. But the offensive line is definitely a concern for the Auburn Tigers. Skill position, not as much. Loaded on both sides of the field, wide receiver and running back. Auburn is actually looking at some talent on the transfer circuit. But I think Auburn is well in hand in that arena. But the offensive line seems to be the biggest concern for the Auburn Tigers. Like I said, I know the draft is going on. Hopefully some Auburn players will land in favorable positions. We obviously have Jarrett Stidham, former Auburn quarterback, who at some points of his career was, thought to be a Heisman Trophy candidate. Had definitely had a disappointing season in 2018. Hopefully he can, get on the right track and land himself as a viable quarterback in the NFL. Of course, other players, Deshaun Davis, Darius Slayton, other guys who had favorable showings in the NFL Combine as well as Pro Day at Auburn. Jamel Dean with that ridiculous 40 time, which gained him some leverage in the pro scouting process. We'll see what happens. Once again, it's Casey to go for Vernon Speak Sports. We talk Auburn football all the time. Go ahead and comment and like and subscribe to my channel, War Eagle.